Hi, I'm Angelita. I'm currently studying Information Technology at Temasek Polytechnic.
Hi, my name is Veronica and I'm studying Food Nutrition and Culinary Science in Temasek Polytechnic.
Hi, I'm Brian Ang from Temasek Polytechnic, and I'm currently pursuing a diploma in business.
Hello, I'm Abel and I'm studying business at Temasek Polytechnic.
Hi, I'm Hannah, a Year 3 student studying in the Diploma of Law and Management.
In this video, we will be presenting on Goal 4, which is quality education. Throughout this project, we collaborated with Rangsit University from Thailand. It was definitely an honor to meet over 20 students from Rangsit University, so we would like to take a moment to thank them and appreciate them for all their efforts in participating on this project with us. So here is a little bit of information on Rangsit University. It is located in Pathum Thani, Thailand and was established in 1995. They have a mission to provide accessible, personalized, high-quality educational opportunities for local and international students, as well as having a primary aim of creating graduates in the area of study meeting the requirements of national development by focusing mainly on science, technology, design, and management. As for Temasek Polytechnic, we were established in 1990 and offer 37 full-time and over 40 part-time diploma courses, and we have over 14,000 students. We have 6 academic schools, and our main mission is to prepare school leavers and working adults for a future of dynamic change with relevant knowledge, lifelong skills, character, and a thirst for continuous improvement. So now, I'll be talking more about the goal and what its main aims are. So some of its main aims are to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, and to eliminate gender and wealth disparities and achieve universal access to a quality higher education. So now let's find out how Singapore and Thailand are involved in this goal.
Thanks, Anna, for the sharing. So for now, I'll be talking about Singapore's and Thailand's involvement for the quality education goals. So the targets that we're talking about is firstly, build and upgrade inclusive and safe school, which is upgrading education facilities like adding wheelchair accessible ramps, lifts, handicapped toilets, and also train teachers to teach students with special education needs. And secondly, is equal access to affordable technical, vocational, and higher education, which is providing Singaporeans, permanent residents, and foreigners heavy subsidies and grants so that they can ensure that everyone can afford a higher education. And its progress now is there's a new curriculum called Living, Learning, Working in the 21st Century, which is introduced in 2012 to provide special education schools to design and deliver quality holistic education and also meet the need of children with special education. They also established partnership between mainstream schools and special education schools to provide both students social and academic integration opportunities. And Thailand's involvement is ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And its strategies are 15 years of free education for everyone, 140 universities, 21,000 special education program certified schools, and 121 sufficiency education learning centers. And the literacy rate among 15 to 24 years old is about 98%. And 20% of the national budget is typically allocated for education every year.
So how has COVID-19 affected Singapore's involvement in quality education? COVID-19 has affected Singapore's education in terms of the learning environment. Classroom learning has now been changed to home-based learning, where students have to study in their own homes in order to reduce the risk of the virus spreading around easily. The government has taken into account that many students, majority being from low-income families, did not have devices to participate in home-based learning. Adhering to the target of providing equitable and quality primary and secondary education, measures were implemented by the government in order to tackle this issue. 20,000 digital devices were loaned to the students by the schools. By the end of 2021, the Ministry of Education has decided to ensure that students will all have a personal laptop or tablet. The Ministry of Education is planning to expand an emphasis on character and citizenship education as well as implement programs that will teach students about digital literacy as well as cyber and mental wellness in order to tackle some of the issues caused by COVID-19. So how has COVID-19 affected Thailand's involvement in quality education? Online education is inaccessible to many students in Thailand, especially those living in rural areas where there is lack of educational aid like technological devices. Many students do not have a proper conducive study environment at home due to noise pollution from neighbors or family members. Hence, they get distracted easily. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development data in 2018 found that over 30% of 15-year-old Thai students did not have a supportive study environment at home, which is 3 times of the data's average. It is also difficult for students in Thailand to communicate with their teachers online, which results in inequality of basic knowledge and hence students become more stressed. Since not all students can afford digital devices like smartphones, laptops, and tablets, which are necessary for online learning, the Ministry of Education has implemented solutions such as applying distance learning television broadcasting nationwide, as well as conducting physical classes in schools, but with social distancing measures. This crisis has turned difficulties into opportunities for teachers in the country to adjust and improve their ICT skills and competencies for present and future use. The ministry has realized that there are many teachers who are still unfamiliar with online teaching or do not have opportunities to use technological devices to teach students. Moreover, this crisis will allow Thai students to become efficient in digital technology to improve their ICT skills as well, which is vital in this digital age.
Education is a really important aspect of my life, as it is for friends over at Runsett University. I believe that education is really the only thing that helps us to truly develop our thinking skills and expand our knowledge and understanding of this complicated world around us. Apart from just allowing us to pursue a career which we deem meaningful and desirable, we actually become more cooperative, capable, and just a more empathetic members of society as a whole. The COVID-19 pandemic that hit us on February really changed drastically various aspects of our lives and devastated others, right? Education actually took a really hard hit. As a whole, however, I recognize that I'm actually one of the more fortunate ones with regards to education, and this is true for our friends at Runsett University as well. This is mainly because school for us can continue. Learning simply becomes e-learning. Our lectures and tutorials held in classrooms are simply moved to online platforms such as Microsoft Teams and Zoom. So, for me in particular, as a business student, I take up subjects such as economics and business finance. Now, these are more theoretical subjects where I'm still able to develop a sufficient understanding in which, through merely studying the notes and attending the online lectures and tutorials. E-learning has many of its advantages. It certainly isn't perfect. This is true for the more practical aspects of our learning, which cannot be covered online. So for me in particular, I have to meet my friends for my group projects, and I can't really understand their perspectives and communicate my own as well through online platforms. A lot of learning takes place through like intangible factors and implicit ways of transferring knowledge, right? And as for our friends over at Runsett University, most of whom take up the degree of dentistry, they don't have access to labs where they thus don't have are unable to work with the tools which are necessary for them to develop the skills as a dentist as a whole. Now, these are disadvantages we realize, but they certainly aren't complaints because we're as a whole really grateful for this opportunity to continue to learn and for us to have access to these technology for us to continue to facilitate learning as a whole. Quality education is certainly one of the most important sustainable development goals, and we believe that it should be an emphasis for many people worldwide, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
One of the ways on how students from Thailand and Singapore can work towards the goal is to make an Instagram page together. Besides the students, there can be a teacher or any authority figure to supervise our actions and posts to ensure that it is appropriate and relevant to our objectives. So how it will work is that students from both countries can post reflections on their experiences or insights about school or preferably non-school related topics. And most of us have schoolwork to prioritize, so the requirement will be to post at least once every 2 weeks with a minimum of 30 words. And this will just take at least 5 minutes, so it's very simple. Sharing this will broaden our perspectives to beyond classrooms and cultures. And most importantly, one of the targets of this goal 4, which is SDG 4.7, is to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development including but not limited to global citizenship and appreciation of cultural diversity.
So another way that the students from Thailand and from Singapore can work together towards the goal of quality education is to collaborate and enhance our learning together. So we can do this through projects where we actually teach each other different topics of different subjects. So we can actually have this project year long, or even more than that, where we actually tutor each other different subjects to guide each other, because at the end of the day, all of us are going to learn very similar subjects such as English, math and science. Not only that, but we can actually extend that to the community by hosting tutoring services, volunteering tutor services towards the community, the local community. So for example, the students from Singapore can visit maybe children, the preschools in Thailand, and actually conduct lessons there to teach them basic subjects such as English, math or science. Not only that, we can actually enhance our own cultural knowledge on the different countries by actually having lessons that teach us on, for example, Thailand's culture, history. So from this, we will actually be able to enhance the bond of the ASEAN countries, not only on the leader level, but also through the community level through us, the students. Not only that, this will actually also allow us to reach the goal of quality education.
With that, we have come to the end of our presentation. We hope you enjoyed and learned something about the quality education UNSDG goal. Thank you.